Today I fucked up by watching porn. I'm a female, age 18, and I've been watching porn and wanking it since about 14. Today I was doing the usual and decided to watch some porn, and me being the stupid ass I am, I went onto X videos and started looking for some good porn. I'm into submission and such, and I decided to look up begging. Clicked a few videos that I just didn't vibe with, and finally found one I liked, and started skipping around to find a good spot. Had no luck finding a part of the video that would put me over the edge. So I looked to the comments, and they were full of 318 is where it really gets good. Who's the girl at 318? She's really hot and I just came at 318, so of course I was curious and I clicked to 310 and watched from there, eagerly expecting something good, and boy was I wrong. Jump scare. The worst jump scare I've ever experienced in my life. My headphones were on and suddenly I hear the loudest scream I've ever heard and the scariest picture I've ever seen. Through my phone, luckily it didn't crack, thanks Walmart case, and ducked under the covers for probably a good 10 minutes before retrieving my phone, quickly clicking out of the video, and texting all of my close friends for comfort. I cried for 2 hours. I'm currently in college and living with 3 roommates, but it's Labor Day weekend, they're all gone except me, so I'm alone. Ever since this happened, like 6 p.m., I haven't been able to get the image and the scream out of my head, and I've only gone out of my room a couple of times to get water and clean up my living room. Now it's almost 2 a.m. and all of the lights are on. I can't sleep and I don't think I'll be able to all night. I hate being alone anyway and I'm still scared out of my mind. Every noise makes me jump and in every shadow I see the face. I know this seems funny as fuck, and I bet in a few months this will make me laugh. But right now I'm terrified out of my mind and I can't close my eyes for long periods of time without wanting to cry, so I know I'm not gonna get any sleep until I see daylight, maybe not even then. Edit. Yes, I know this isn't a normal reaction, I'm undergoing a lot of stressful changes in my life since starting college, and I've always been a very jumpy person. I'm currently on Zoloft for anxiety. Thank you all for your concern and I do know that I'm mentally ill, and I'm trying to get help. For those of you asking, yes, I do have PTSD, obviously before yesterday, haha, and that is another huge factor in my extreme jitteriness. Edit 2, for those of you asking for source, someone in the comments found it and now it appears to be taken down luckily. Too long didn't read. I watch porn and got jump scared, image is so ingrained in my head I can't sleep. I've been watching internet porn for maybe 15 years now and I've never seen one with a jump scare. That's hilarious. Now I'm refusing to watch new porn unless my boyfriend has seen the whole thing and knows there's not anything potentially triggering to me, lol. Prepare for inbox creeps in 3, 2, 1. 0 degrees. Run now, I'm paranoid about jump scares in porn. Big fat wiener gonna get ya. /I bleach usually helps putting your mind at ease. Deleted. I had never heard of such a thing until now. I would be fucking pissed to be halfway towards an orgasm just to have some asshole pull a prank on me that they can't even see. It reminds me of LimeWire and Napster back in the day. You'd be jamming out to your favorite song that you had downloaded and then all of a sudden, it sounded like Lucifer himself busted through your speaks and jammed his screaming dick down your ear holes. Screw that. What? Today I fucked up by going to the dentist right before a job interview. Obligatory, it didn't happen today, but I was in the dentist yesterday for a long overdue cleaning, thanks COVID, and I told them about it and they got a kick out of it. So I figured I'd share it here as I'm new to this sub. Late last year, I was shuffling between an internship and contract jobs, and was desperately in need of a full-time job. So when I received an inquiry about a job interview, I jumped on it so fast. While I was qualified for the job, it wasn't really what I wanted to do forever. It was as a storyteller and oral historian for a historical center near my area. But it sounded interesting and was full-time with benefits, so I was excited. Problem was the only time available they had was about 2 hours after my dentist appointment was scheduled to get a filling done. No problem, the Septicane would probably wear off quickly because it was only one filling. The day comes and I get to the dentist. The dentist puts the Septicane needle into my gum and away we go. Except it's not enough and I can feel the drill on my tooth. I quickly raise my hand so she knows to stop and I let her know that I can feel it. So she takes another dose of Septicane to my gum in a different area, and in about 20 minutes the entire left side of my jaw is numb. I can't feel anything, so they get the work done and I have about an hour to get to my job interview, which is perfect because it's about a 50-minute drive. As I'm driving there, I'm realizing that my mouth is still entirely numb to the point that I can't speak clearly. I am salivating uncontrollably, my words are not forming in my mouth, and I am rubbing my jaw furiously trying to get feeling back. I pull up to where the job interview is, and I'm a little panicked, but I practice forming words and think that I can muddle through pretty well. I get into the interview and I realize I overestimated my abilities. I cannot control the salivation, I cannot make words fully, and for some reason I didn't want to admit that I'd just been to the dentist. Best case scenario, they thought I was having a medical emergency, and worst case scenario, they probably thought I was on drugs. Needless to say, I did not get the job as a storyteller/oral historian. I was thoroughly kicking myself at the time, because my contract jobs were ending and I had nothing full-time lined up. Luckily a few months later, I found a full-time job that's actually what I want to do more so than the one I was interviewing for. But lesson learned, don't go for an interview right after the dentist, especially when most of that job requires you to speak clearly and without spitting on people. Update: wow, I did not expect this to get as much attention as it did. Trying to keep up with comments, but it's hard to with amount of responses. Those of you saying that you've been in similar situations, glad to know I'm not the only one. For those of you saying it was stupid not to tell them the truth, you're absolutely right. That's why I posted it in Today I effed up. Not today I made a rational decision. I thought the Septicane would have worn off fast because it was only one filling. I was nervous and blew it. No arguments here about that being a silly reason not to tell. And for those of you saying I should have said it was a medical emergency, that would not have been the truth. With my luck, lying about it would have made karma roundhouse me in the teeth. Too long didn't read. I went to the dentist 2 hours before a job interview for a storyteller position, and the Septicane did not wear off before I got there. Ended up spitting uncontrollably and slurring my words, wasn't offered the job. Should have just admitted that you were still numb from the dentist. It would probably have gone over better. Yeah, but then my time management skills would have been called into question. Smiley face, c'est la vie. If I had gotten that job, I wouldn't have the better one I've got now. Homie went to a job interview where the job was to be a storyteller and oral historian and couldn't even speak. Thank you so much for this, I actually laughed. If it was a job that didn't involve speaking, I can understand just trying to push through as your speaking skills shouldn't be the focus. But bruh, the job title literally has oral in it, your ability to speak would be the focal point. You should have told the whole truth from the start. I'll never forget in middle school I had a partial fill and my mom sent me back to school. This one popular girl thought I had serious issues because I tried to smile at her and wave in the hallway, wearing a half-drooping face. Never outlived that incident. Lol, a friend of mine was once returning home from a dental procedure and bumped into their building manager, who was a total Karen from what I understood. The Karen was having a heated discussion with someone, but when she saw my friend, she and the other neighbors all rushed over to her screaming and shouting. Turned out it was about a flooding issue that happened sometime prior, and they kept trying to get my friend to accept responsibility. So all of those people start an argument with my friend because the Karen is threatening to charge them all for repairs, and my friend starts apologizing about insurance taking longer than anticipated, when all of a sudden everyone calms down and even looks slightly concerned. They tell my friend not to worry about it and that they're sure everything would get sorted and they'll just wait. She gets into her flat confused as hell and realizes that all of her mouth is still numb and the bloody saliva had been flowing freely down her chin and dripping onto her white shirt as she spoke. Today I fucked up by teaching my cat to boop me. This is a pretty minor one, except for my poor, already struggling sleep schedule. I adopted a year-old cat about 6 weeks ago. She's adjusted great, and I do my best to be as affectionate and playful with her as she likes. Doing so has involved me teaching her to boop my nose with hers whenever I lean down to her or pick her up. She purrs adorably and seems to love it, so I do it often. She has grown so accustomed to our booping routine that I no longer need to initiate it. Whenever I lean down to get something, she boops me. Whenever I lie down, she boops me. Now lately, when I am peacefully and finally asleep, she will trot her way up my bed and slam her face into mine, before running off with gleeful pride in herself. I have created a monster. Too long didn't read, encouraged my new cat to boop, and now I wake up in the middle of the night to headbutts stronger than I thought a 7-pound cat could accomplish. Edit, I'm so glad that I shared this. I love your stories about your cats. These responses have made my day. Another very important edit, here, hopefully, is my cat photo. I can't figure out how to do the thing with the brackets and parentheses, so forgive my tech illiteracy. I couldn't get a photo of the cat who was the topic of this because she's too crazy, but this is my big boy. Image is not accessible to the visually impaired, so I am really hoping this works. Scream at me if not. Smile. Also, the likelihood of this being a photo of my foot or something is very high, as again, I can't see what I'm photoing. OMG you guys, I did the bracket thing, yay. That's got to be one of the most adorable fuck-ups I've ever read about. My current cat would wake me in the middle of the night by tentatively patting my nose with her paw, getting more and more aggressive until I woke. The best I could figure is that she was trying to make sure I wasn't dead. Did eventually break her of the habit by throwing both my arms around her and snuggling her forcefully. Now she just curls up in front of my face and drools on me. That's cute as hell. Honestly, I started to boop my kitten and how he runs up to my nose and bites it lightly. It's actually pretty natural behavior for a cat. Touching noses is a friendly greeting. Some are more enthusiastic than others. No matter how startling it is, I wouldn't change her for the world. I love these little things they do to show us that they like us. Sure, it's cute the first 20 times per night every 10 minutes, but it goes downhill at 3:47 a.m. I woke up last night with a pillow over my head. I think my subconscious is protecting me. I know this. I actually got a second cat so that I wouldn't feel bad for shutting the first one out on working days so she wouldn't wake me up. Now we let them both in at weekends. The big one sleeps round my husband's head like a big furry hat and the small one sleeps on his chest. So what I'm really saying is get a husband or a second cat and it'll all work out. Doesn't work, in my experience. Have a husband, 2 cats, a dog, plus an extra dog we're currently watching for a friend. One cat sleeps snuggled on my shoulder, frequently with his paw on my nose. A cat sleeps in between our pillows, and will frequently wake me by grooming my hair. Dog sleeps using some part of my body as a pillow, resting his head either on my legs or stomach. New/temporary dog seems to prefer my husband during the day. What? No, I'm not jealous. What are you talking about? But I woke up last night with her snuggled up on top of me as well, curled up on top of my feet,